Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. Today is episode 317 in the Daily Color Special. We're coloring in magical worlds. This beautiful hummingbird. Today I am working on the flower. I did, as I said, I was going to do the homework of finishing the background around the flower. It's possible I will want to go darker, but I stopped because I want to get the colors of the flower in, and then I will know how deep I want that blue to go. I told you that yesterday that the dark colors in the 520 set go super dark. So I have a couple of other options on the background that I have just kind of left in the wings, and we will see once we get the colors done if I need to go darker with the blues. I've got lots of dark options. All right, so I have this crazy blend, and the barrels on a couple of them don't really match with what they are. I also have a couple of fun colors that I'm going to sporadically put in, and I will share them at the time that I decide to add them. So we're starting with, this is, by the way, a purple, though all of these look blue to me. You know, if you look at the blue background, these all look like blues. They are not, as you will see. So we're going to use Pale Lilac, which is 345. Bougainvillea, 402, which I always thought of as, I see them like in Hawaii, they're hot pink fuchsia. So, but I might not know my Bougainvillea very well. Paisley Purple, 404. Heliotrope, 422. Purple Velvet, 433. And this odd color anemone, one of the beautiful darks, is number 376. So I toyed with having the centers of the flowers white, but normally for me most flowers fade at the ends of the petals, so I'm going to stick with the traditional it comes dark to light, where the edges, the outer edge is light. The other thing I want to do is I want to make sure there's a lot of veining, so this flicking motion, if you haven't tried it for doing the veining in flowers, it is a wonderful technique, and I got this technique from my Copic world. Pretty much the making fluffy trees and shrubs for the deciduous trees using the ovals. That is also from the Copic world of my background. So I'm just going to go around here. I am not as solid, just like with the background blue, how dark I want to go. I am also not as fixed yet on the center. This floral center is pretty elaborate, so I might have to expand my colors for that as well. I have a couple of colors picked out. How these petals turn out in the end is going to dictate how much color I will need to put in. And then there's these little tiny holes. I want those to all be dark. So you'll notice that the color of anemone is very much a purple color, even though it appears to me to be more on the violet side. I definitely want a few super dark veins, so I'm going heavy now. I am looping outward for these petals, and then I also want to add shadow where the petals fold. And so that's what all of the darks are going to be. I'm just start with these three. And this is going to be very shadowed. This is my darkest purple. But again, I do have, with this set, super dark darks that I could go get a darker purple if I needed to. We will just see. Alright, so I've somewhat started the third petal, but not gotten very far along. Get some dark lines in there. I'm moving to one lighter. It is called Purple Velvet 433. I'm actually working sideways today, so we'll see which way I rotate it. Because you can see that the Hummingbird is sideways. I'm doing kind of some loose, casual ovals with this second lighter color. I'm very close to needing to reveal the surprise color or two. So let me go grab those. I'm using light pressure now. I've got all of them in my hand. They were all in my right hand. I'm going to set them down because now I want to get the fun colors. I think one of them I did not sharpen. This is a little bit of a gamble. .308 and 304, Super Pink and Fuchsia Rose. I am going to actually go backwards. I just want, there are flowers that you see that have these hints of other color tones in them. And that is what I am after. So this is a more purpley, and then the hot pink is one further removed. So now I'm going to switch to the super pink. It actually is not quite as sharp as I would like. Let's see if I can keep this side up. All right, so those two are sitting back down. I'm picking up the pile of way too many purples. I am working with heliotrope now. Well, again, the barrel looks blue. It is definitely purple. Still using flicking. I want the lines to taper away, so I start with heavy pressure and I flick it a direction, and I want the lines to curve and fade away toward the end of the petal. I do want to focus the darker colors toward the center, fading out light. This is somewhat how I do animal fur. So I have some gaps I want to fill in. I'm getting quiet. I'm focused. All right, moving lighter. We are going to do the bougainvillea. You can see that the tip is decidedly purple, even though the barrel is like periwinkle. So the edges of this petal are kind of faded, and they're a little torn, a little aged. And then back here I want to fill in the tooth. And then I want to move on. I have one lighter color than this, but I'm going to save that for when we have all the petals done and we're ready to kind of lock them down, so to speak. Looks like I got a little bit of blue on here. I'm okay with that. Okay, so those are the three. I'm moving on. I have to start all over. I have 5 petals left. In the interest of time, I will probably do there's one more flower on the other corner. It is quite small. I will use these same exact techniques, and I'll probably do that as homework. I'm rotating the pencil so that I get some sharp lines and I get some thicker, smooth lines. Pardon me. Alright, I am going to rotate because for me to keep flicking, it works better if I am flicking either toward me or away from me, but not side to side. See the veins up here showing the certain direction? That is the direction that I need to flick for that part of the petal. Then this little line, they're all my prompts for which direction I want to flick. Don't forget my shadow lines, the very, very, very dark where the petal is overlapping its neighbor. Moving on. Rotating now to get some dark flick lines. And we have one petal left. And then I can work on some of our fun extra colors and then lighten. Alright, so I want to come in really dark. These little floral centers that I could make yellow or I could make them light lavender. I haven't really decided. That's where I'm a little torn, and I'm going to see what it looks like. Before I decide if I want these little guys to be kind of mini petals. Part of the purple, they could be hot pink. I don't know yet. I will mull that over. Just getting some really dark shadows filled in. Okay, let's do a little bit with the second to darkest, the purple velvet. See, now I don't think I used purple velvet over here with these. I have lots of colors for this. Going really soft with this purple velvet. Mixing things up. This petal looks like it needs some more darks. I'll probably come back to anemone. So now I am looking for a few, I want more folds, and to give me the appearance of folds is to emphasize a few of the flicks. Okay, now I'm ready to reach down, grab, and get some Fuchsia Rose 308 lines added. This particular petal has a lot of deep lines in it. This flower, I want to be as beautiful as the hummingbird. I'm going to reach down and pick up Super Pink 304. I could take the eraser to that blue if that ends up annoying me enough. All right, those spots of the fuchsia are in, and heliotrope is next. Heliotrope 422. I really think that you could take any set of pencils you have and go with the purples and the fuchsias and do this flicking. Just make sure you have dark to light and flick away. I can tell I need some sharp flicks. So these little edges over here and right here that stayed white, I am going to emphasize that and let them be white. I kind of wish on this side, these first 3 petals, I didn't leave any little white areas. So I'm just purposefully building in little folds by having a white area, and right next to that little strip of white, I'm going in really dark. It's just a trick to the eye, making it look like a fold, a delicate fold, kind of like in fabric. Very soft with this heliotrope color. Now I'm just coming from the top back with this middling tone. I think this is the 3rd or 4th in of the blend that's 8 purples from light to dark. Every petal needs to look unique. Just keep building until you have it the way you like it. The biggest thing is to leave some all the way light whites and as dark of darks as you can get. You gotta have the lights and darks to make it look balanced and real. Okay, I had said that I needed an anemone, so back to anemone, because over here I need some super dark darks, and that right there is an embossed line somehow, some way, and I'll have to work at filling that in. I think we're coming along. I do recommend these particular pencils, if you have the Brutfuner 520s, do really well on copy paper. So you could copy this if you don't have fancy paper and you're just a color in the book person. You can practice your flicking on copy paper. And I have the cheapest copy paper ever, 20 pound, super light. All right, so there is my flower. It's mostly done. The only thing I haven't done, I have this very lightest light, pale lilac, and I can come in here now and do some softening. I want to leave some of the darks, so I'm going to be kind of careful with where I apply it. I am still leaving some absolute white for the moment. When I finish with the petals, I might commit to adding this pale lilac to the whole flower and not have any white areas. I might leave a little bit of white. I am not quite sure yet. Softening some of those lines in the upper folds. Up here in the curls. Using medium to hard pressure. Like on this petal, it's one of the last ones I did, and I think it's a little bit rougher looking than the others. And then I do have a couple of these little lines somehow got on here. Those are lines that you can't see until you add color. Smooshing around. This petal right here, this little one, actually has nice veining. I like that. This particular petal has really nice veining. I hope you guys can... This one's not as good. It's a little too regular. I should have like pulled back a little bit. It's a really wide petal. But as a whole, I think it looks pretty good. All right, so how are we doing for time? I have time to start a leaf. I'm going to set all of these fun colors aside. And I've got an equal array of greens. Let's see if I've sharpened them. I am not sure. There are a lot of greens. Okay, so I have to rotate because then my page or the clipboard will stay up better. We will see that I'm looking at them. I'm judging my petals. That's my least favorite one. I need to soften elements of that one up. I really like that petal. I think that's the small petal that I liked the best. And literally, I'm just randomly doing these lines. And then they kind of all, hopefully, will merge together. I think this side is where I started, and it's a little darker than this side, but that's not bad. You know, the sun might be, or the light source might be showing a little different. So that needs a little work, and that needs a little work. Softening. All right, but it's possible that I'm judging them now, and once I get more color around it, they will then all look about the same. I have 7 greens. Let's see if I can hold them. I believe they're in light to dark. We'll see how I use them. Here they all are. You know, I wanted to do, since this is a giant set, I wanted to use lots of colors. I do think that you could take half the colors away. You could, like, take this, 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 and this. You could take 5 instead of 7, easily. It's just kind of fun to show you guys what it's like working with this many and how you can actually take advantage and get all these nice nuances with all of the colors. Okay, pistachio green is the lightest, 134, summer green, 135, vibrant green, 153, bright green, 157, ultramarine green, 170, mountain view, 209, and deep teal, 189. So I'm holding them all in my hand. I am starting, I will show you that this deep teal, oh, mountain view is the darkest. Mountain view is a bit of an olivey or brown green, and I am using it sparingly. I'm going to start with deep teal. It's a very vibrant, I do want the leaf to be very vibrant. It's going to be less veiny than the flower. It has its veins. They're very prescribed. And I'm going to have the light, you will see it's a little bit different. We will see how it looks. So I'm actually going around the very edges because I want the leaf, the edge of these leaves are folding down and away from us. The curve of these lines, I'm emphasizing. And this part of the curve, the uppermost part of the curve of these leaves, is where it's closest to the light and you as the viewer. And we will see if I can achieve that appearance. I am roughing it in with this darkest color. Well, second darkest color. Oops, and I don't want to do what I just did there. I will probably have to erase that. That would be my normal. I'm trying to do things a little bit different on this because it's such a big, beautiful flower. I want to give it just the really best, most artistic, fancy look I can come up with. All right, so this is getting pretty dark. It's got the blue, so it should give it the appearance of being the farthest away at the edge. And then the darker I do this center will also make this look like it dips down farthest away. Okay, so that's my goal. And then this is curling underneath the flower. Soften. I do have this mountain view. Let's show you what this looks like. It's very dark, but it's not a vibrant dark. It just gives it this deep, look at that. I just really like it. It is possible, looking at the time, that I'm just going to get this one leaf done. And that will be my model. Ultramarine green, we're starting to get a little lighter and brighter. Not going heavy pressure here. A light to medium pressure. All right, one lighter. Bright green, 157. We are creeping very close to the area that should appear to be the top of the curve of this leaf. Leaving a little tooth, because we've got more layers to go. Now this is heavy pressure. I'm going over the top of those darks. I'm watching my time. One lighter. Vibrant green, 153. I am going to go over the top of all of the other colors. I see some tooth left, and then I'm going to creep in toward my white just a little bit, not too much. And whatever this leaf ends up being, I can adjust it a little bit using an eraser if I need to. But it will be the model that I will use for the rest of the leaves. Now as I'm going, I am following the veining direction to smooth it all out, because I had done ovals. This needs some tooth filled in, heavy pressure. I've got two more colors. I've got summer green, and the very lightest green. Still smoothing out some of the tooth. That looks nice. And then I'm going to leave a little white, but this is pistachio green, the lightest green. And just like the pale lilac, which was this one, I didn't use the pale lilac all the way over all of the white. And the green has even less white. So I'm just going to use this to burnish with the darker colors. Brighten them up a little bit even. And there's one of my leaves. And I will be finishing all of the leaves this way. So the next time you see this, the center will be available. I will figure out what I'm going to do with this round edge. I'm thinking it's going to be pale lilac. I could make it fuchsia, and then the center will be shades of yellow to gold. Golden, not quite orange. I'm not going bright, I don't think. And then I will color on my own. Let's show you the other flower right over here. I will color that one too, because it would be cool if I could focus on the hummingbird, and it will be only 2 more sittings to finish this. It'll be the hummingbird and then the gold filigree, and that will be after Thanksgiving. So this will get tabled for the week of Thanksgiving, and we will revisit this. I guess it'll be in December when we'll finish this up. So thank you all for joining me today. I really appreciate you watching my videos and subscribing and leaving comments. It is great to interact with you all. Do all of the YouTube things, like, share, comment. Consider subscribing. And please join me. Tomorrow will be the weekly review. I don't have any homework coloring that I am going to do because we finished the 2 birds. That is a completed. And I don't think with Libby, I don't think that I will be doing any of the tree area before Sunday, but depending on how much time I have tomorrow, I might do a little bit on the trees for the camping page so that when you see it revealed, it'll be a little bit closer to finished. And I hope to see you all there.